signing a magical contract that literally binds you to write within specific genre rules or face supernatural consequences.
Wait, that sounds intense. Are we talking about some kind of fantasy novel plot?
Actually, this is happening right now in publishing. Today, we're diving into the Codex Rebellion and how Val-backed publishing is transforming the way we think about genre.
Oh wow, this is fascinating. So these are actual binding contracts that authors are signing?
Exactly. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand how this controversial new publishing model is challenging everything we thought we knew about creative freedom.
You know, this reminds me of a huge shift that happened in literary history. The transition from scrolls to codex books in early Christianity.
Really? How so?
Well, according to historical records, the adoption of the codex format between the 3rd and 8th centuries AD completely revolutionized how information was organized and accessed.
Interesting parallel. So we're seeing another fundamental shift in how books are created and consumed?
Exactly. Just like the codex changed everything, Val-backed publishing is challenging our basic assumptions about genre conventions.
Let's break this down for our listeners. What exactly are genre conventions and why do they matter?
Well, recent research shows that genres aren't actually fixed rules. They're more like socially negotiated agreements between writers and readers.
So it's not just about following a strict set of rules?
Not at all. These boundaries are constantly being renegotiated through social interaction between writers and readers, shifting to reflect changing contexts.
That's what makes the Codex Rebellion so interesting, right? It's basically formalizing these usually fluid boundaries.
Right, and that's where the controversy comes in. Some argue it's limiting creativity, while others see it as a way to maintain quality and reader trust.
Let's talk about how these Val-backed contracts actually work.
So basically, authors make a binding commitment to adhere to specific genre conventions when they sign their publishing contract.
And what happens if they break these conventions?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. The contracts include specific penalties, both financial and professional, for straying from the agreed-upon genre parameters.
That sounds pretty restrictive. Why would authors agree to this?
Actually, many see it as a way to build trust with readers. When you pick up a Val-backed romance novel, you know exactly what you're getting.
But doesn't this go against the current trends in publishing? I mean, we're seeing more genre-bending works than ever.
That's the fascinating paradox. While some authors are pushing boundaries, others are deliberately choosing these constraints.
It's almost like two opposing movements in publishing, isn't it?
Exactly. And according to recent industry data, both approaches are finding success with different reader segments.
Let's talk about the impact on contemporary literature. How is this changing what's being published?
Well, we're seeing a really interesting split. Some publishers are creating strict genre divisions, while others are embracing what they call genre-fluid works.
And how are readers responding to this?
The research shows that different readers want different things. Some prefer the reliability of Val-backed books, while others enjoy more experimental works.
It's interesting how this mirrors broader cultural tensions between tradition and innovation.
Absolutely. And it's forcing us to really examine what genre means in the digital age.
Speaking of the digital age, how is technology playing into all this?
Well, digital platforms are actually making it easier to track and enforce these genre commitments through automated analysis.
Wait, so computers are checking if books follow genre rules?
Yes, and that's another controversial aspect. Some argue it reduces literature to a formula.
But supporters would say it's just ensuring quality control, right?
Exactly. It's similar to how traditional publishers have always had genre guidelines, just more formalized and transparent.
Let's talk about the future. Where do you see this movement heading?
Based on current trends, we're likely to see a continued polarization between Val-backed and experimental publishing.
And what does this mean for aspiring authors?
They'll need to make some important choices about their creative freedom versus market positioning.
It's fascinating how this is reshaping the entire publishing landscape.
And it's not just affecting authors and publishers. Readers are having to think more critically about their preferences too.
Do you think this might lead to a kind of reader polarization?
We're already seeing signs of that, with some readers strongly preferring one approach over the other.
It's almost like we're seeing the emergence of two parallel publishing universes.
Yes, and what's really interesting is how this might affect literary evolution in the long term.
Could this actually lead to more innovation in both camps?
Absolutely. Constraints can sometimes spark creativity in unexpected ways.
And I suppose having clear genre boundaries might give authors more confidence to push against them?
Exactly. It's like knowing the rules before you break them.
As we wrap up, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think it's that the publishing industry is adapting to changing reader expectations in really innovative ways.
And whether you're Team Rebellion or Team Tradition, there's room for both approaches.
Absolutely. The key is understanding what works best for your creative vision and your readers.
Well, this has been a fascinating discussion about how the publishing industry is evolving.
And it really shows how the tension between tradition and innovation can lead to exciting new possibilities.
Whether through magical contracts or genre rebellion, it seems the future of publishing will be anything but boring.
Just like those early adopters of the Codex format, we're witnessing a fundamental shift in how stories are told and shared.
And that's all for today's episode of Co-Pilot Podcasts. Remember, sometimes the most interesting stories happen when we either follow the rules or break them completely.
Just maybe check your contract first before you decide which path to take.